Welcome to Dark Moon Cards and Games.
Visit our website for TCG singles, event playmats, custom buttons, and imported Japanese items.
Come play in one of our local events, including both competitive and casual card and video game tournaments.
Sell us your cards either online or in person.
Shop our full selection of everything Pokemon at our next convention near you.
Hey you guys, this is Hee Haw with Dark Moon Cards and Games. Today I have our first of two follow-up videos demonstrating the various evolutions of our Rebel Clash Zamazenta starter deck. First I will play the version that is made up solely of the two Zamazenta decks, which we dubbed the first step deck in our previous video. And so that I don't get into a super long match, because I simply want to provide a quick walkthrough, I will play a quick game against a virtual PTCGO player, so it won't be anything groundbreaking there. Then I'll play a game with the second step list, where we added that whopping $4 worth of cards to our double deck. In that game I'll enlist the help of Logan, who will play us with something more competitive so we can see how much better our deck becomes with those small changes. And later in a video to follow this one, so that we don't run too long today, I will play our fully tournament ready version of what started out as simply two $13 starter decks. So on to the first version, which you can see here in the background. Let's get this game underway, and hopefully we can get one that shows all of its pieces at work. So it looks like we will draw Rika for our little demo match here. Not a bad start. Get two of our big basics. We got a Sonya there as well, so we can search out some other maybe a Pharaoh Seeds, or I guess we could get energy with it and see. Well, there's a Pharaoh Seed, so seems like Sonya is probably still the right way to go here. I wish we did have an energy. We're probably just going to go ahead and use that to get out a couple basics. Yeah, so we'll grab another Zamazenta and a Duraludon. Be a really good start if we had an energy to work with, but still getting set up. That's about all we can do on that one. Really, at this point, it would be a very nice time to get a Professor's Research, especially if we could get an energy and get some in the discard pile. So Duraludon could use Metal Sharpener and start to do damage and reattach. But another hop. We'll go ahead and evolve to Ferrothorn. A little bit of energy there. Still none in the discard, which is kind of the weakness of just the starter deck version of this. It's a little harder to get it in there. No ballot cards to select on his Metal Sharpener attack, so again, we're not really looking for this to be a back and forth game with the trading card game online, but still missing the research. That would be perfect at this point. So we'll hop and still not draw research. Generally, when you're playing a deck like this as well, because you are kind of a little bit limited to your top draw or cards like Hop, anytime you have a chance to get Pokemon out of the deck, just get them into your hand. Just go on and do it. Metal Sharpen again with no energy to reattach. It does get the first knockout. Again, this is, I think, where you'll see the Galarian Meowth really shine in the next version of this, because you could use him to dump his energy in the discard pile, and then you would have everything you need going on. So potions aren't in the second version of it, they are in this one. We'll use them to take up to 30 damage off. And go ahead and set up a little bit more damage on him. Get this Ferrothorn ready. I like the Ferrothorn. He has that energy slap attack, which only does 100 damage, but it does let you move all of that energy down to target on your bench. So again, we're just going to keep on trying to thin the deck out and get some of these Pokemon out of it. I believe we're getting close to just about all of the Pokemon in the deck into our hand. We do have switches, so we'll go ahead and take the knockout with this Ferrothorn. Again, you could keep the energy there if you want to, and playing this level game, it's probably smart to. But I just like to show how it can do 100 damage, which is pretty significant chip damage, and then save all your energy down to another Pokemon, setting up basically a 2-turn 220 damage combo between him and Zamazenta. I guess the problem being is getting him out of the way, and our top deck fixed that for us. We just switch straight to Zamazenta. Go ahead and get that second Ferrothorn evolved and start getting him ready as well. Power Rush does 120 damage. While they put a condition on a Pokemon this week, it's kind of silly. You flip the tails on it and he cannot attack on your next turn. That's okay in the way this deck works, because you can just simply pay the retreat cost of 2, which will finally get some energy in the discard pile. Now we're finally getting some researches. I think we can pull off a combo here to use most of this hand. We will retreat, get those 2 metal energies into the discard pile. Send up a Duraludon, then we can use these metal saucers finally. I'm going to attach from our hand to Ferrothorn. I think we can set both these Pokemon up. Use one saucer to go to the Zamazenta, and just go ahead and do the other onto the Ferrothorn. Gets him set up for his little 100 damage energy cycle move. And at this point, I don't think we need any more Pokemon, so we will research those guys away. Got another potion. I guess go ahead and play it and take some of this damage off the Zamazenta. Got another switch in hand too, which is handy. I guess we could go ahead and do that and just go ahead and take this guy out with the Ferrothorn. Seems like the right play to just hurry this game along. And again, it looks like we could just about end it if we don't move the energy, but I think if I was playing this against another human competitor, I would definitely move the energy just so it doesn't all get knocked out at once. So I'll go on and do that. We'll see what we can pull off with our hand. Move it down and use it to set up that second Zamazenta. Still in pretty good shape. If nothing else, we can always use Triple Smash. You flip 3 coins, does 30 for each head, so could actually get a knockout of a little bit of luck on this turn. If not, we can do some damage, attach a second energy, and retreating next turn. And got all 3 heads. A little fortunate there. But 90 damage for 1 energy, like I've said before, is good in any situation. Again, kind of sets us up to get 1 prize left. We can just attach, well, or switch. I guess we'll just go ahead and attach the energy, pay the... I guess we're going to use the switch. Last turn of the game. Keep... peeling a little bit of the damage off with those potions, and then we can Power Rush 1 more time for 120. So again, no, Professor's researches really didn't help us in this game, but I think you get a pretty good sense for how everything works. There's a little quick demo on that guy, and we will get on to our next one. So here is a quick look at the second step deck, as detailed in our previous video. This one has the massive $4 injection of cards that completely change the dynamic of the deck. The change comes mainly to the Galarian Berserker line, plus a few other inexpensive trainer cards mixed in with it. But let's get into a game with it so you can see how those changes work. Alright, for this match, I'm going to be playing against Logan. Logan is
I think put together a Zapdos deck that we're trying to stay like a one prize deck, sort of like this one. I think it's got some of the Jirachi Prism Star shenanigans in it, where you can take an extra prize card and try to really put pressure on folks with it. But the list he's still working on, so we thought it'd be a good one to test this out against. So on first, I can't play the Sonya, so we'll get a. Let's go ahead and get the Zamazenta down. We don't want to get donked, which could happen against this deck with Spiritomb. And see if we can get the head on the. Yeah, got the heads on the catcher. And that'll keep Zapdos's damage at bay there a little bit. Gonna attach the tool. I guess probably better to just hold on to that, as it doesn't do us any good right now. Don't want to get it scraped off. That's all we got for this turn. Yeah, the key to the Zapdos deck is just being able to switch him to the active spot to get that extra boost on damage, for those of y'all not familiar. Again, that was ridiculous when Guzma was in play, because I'd already probably be losing this Galarian Meowth this turn if there was still a Guzma. But if you can force him active during your turn, even if you can't knock it out, puts a little bit more pressure on Logan to try to get him switched back and then back to the active spot. So you can see starting to build Spite already on that Spiritomb, which in another turn or two will be able to one-hit everything that I have. So the catcher worked, bought me a turn. So I'm going to attach. I think we need to get some more basics down. Put the tool on. Definitely want to get another Meowth, and probably grab a Duraludon. I'm going to definitely getting the Galarian Berserkers in play, I think will be definitely useful in this one as we go. Going to Guard Press, get 40 damage. Guard Press does protect me by 20, so basically makes Zamazenta 140 HP. Makes it a little bit harder of a reach for Zapdos without burning a couple Electro Powers. See the Oranguru down. Of course, Coco will let him accelerate some energy. That Oranguru, I think, is to help set up that Jirachi. Getting that Jirachi Prism Star into the prizes and then taking it for an extra prize card. The trick on that, especially in electric decks where you play Tapu Koko, is making sure you do have a bench spot available for that Jirachi when you draw it. I guess going to pay the retreat cost on that Zapdos. Go ahead and burn the Tapu Koko Prism. Get an energy back on, and I would say try to switch back to the active spot. If so, yep, did not have the switch, so bailed me out again there. Looks like our choice is Hop. Get a Berserker off the Hop, so that is good. We don't have to discard to get one. Go ahead and evolve. Don't know if we want to try to use Meowth's ability to get the second one or not. That leaves me kind of stranded. Not that I'm not stranded at the moment. Guess we'll get the choice band down. Hopefully it doesn't play Scrapper, or at least doesn't have it in hand. And I guess we're just gonna have to Guard Press again. We're going in Evolution Roar. Get that second Berserker in play. That will drive our Guard Press damage up to 80. And still protect us 20. Let's see if, yeah, 80. Just making sure my math's right. Not a fan of math. So I am have the cardless hand. I'm definitely at the mercy of my top draws at the moment. Electric Power. Yeah, you should be able to get the switch off this Sycamore, which means I'm probably definitely going down. building this spite on the Spear Tomb, so I guess he could take me out with either one. I guess would rather do the Zapdos since he already burned the power. Maybe he doesn't have the switching card. Pausing like, yep. Did not have a way to switch, so bailed me out one more time. Let's see if we can grab something off this great ball so we don't draw it on our next turn. A second Zamazenta down, and we'll actually be able to take a knockout with a guard press and still protect ourselves by 20. So hanging on by a thread here. Could really use a hop or a professor's research or something to get us out of this one card top draw situation. Spear Tomb with 4 damage on him already is going to knock me out plus some, regardless of my guard press. He definitely has lots of switching options in the deck, just didn't have them available last turn, unfortunately. So there is Anguish Cry, 160 damage reduced to 140 off of my, thanks to my guard press, which was not enough to save me. I really hope we draw an energy and get some lucky top draws just to stay in this one. Nothing else to do, we'll go ahead and knock out that Spear Tomb. Again, doing 80 damage off the Metal Sharpener, which is pretty nice. Let's see if we can get something set up on the Zamazenta. Here's the Mr. Mime. Don't know if that was Drachi. I don't think it. Anyway, it could have known that it was. With knocking out that Oranguru may have knocked that out as an option for him, and yeah, just tossed it with Professor's Research. And an Absol down, which does not good, because that definitely makes it harder for me to retreat. I do like to pay the retreat cost in this steel deck, as opposed to having to rely on switch, and Absol makes that harder to do. There, thanks to Electric Power, nukes my Duraludon. Back to the hoping I draw something situation. There's another energy. Again, just sort of staying in this one by just a thread here. Guard press for 70, pretty decent damage. Reduced what I take by 20. Going to eventually run out of electric powers, which if I can stay in this game long enough, that guard press will start to pay off, as he will not be able to one-shot these Zamazenta, even though they're only 120 20 HP. Definitely going to have the switch into Zapdos again this turn. I guess we'll see if he has a power or anything that can get the knockout. There's a Electric Power and Marnie, which actually bails me out, or at least gets me out of this one card hand. It may not help me. Didn't hurt me. It's nothing great there, but... And reduce it to 90, so I do stay alive, thanks to that guard press. Don't think I need to... Yeah, I can attach the Vitality Band there, and that will get the knockout off of a guard press thanks to those two Berserkers in play. That takes me to 80 damage, and that is enough to get him. Actually, I don't need to. We can do that without the Vitality Band. We'll put the Vitality Band on the benched Zamazenta and go ahead and Metal Saucer there, get him set up. And take the knockout exactly. Again, I guess if you struggle with the math, maybe Pokemon's not the best thing to play. I spend more time trying to work the math out than I do strategizing my game. But stay ahead by a prize card in this back and forth sort of single prize card game. That's really all you have to do. And whichever one of these, if he knocks out either one of my Zamazenta, I've got a knockout on the next turn, holding on to that energy. The Power Rush 120 will knock out everything he has on his field. And looks like he's going to have to try to stall me and trap my Berserker, which unfortunately looks like it's going to stay trapped. I'm going to count on just losing that, so let's go ahead and get a Meowth. I'll get another Duraludon just to get some energy back. Going to get the other Meowth, so on the next turn I can use his ability and get another Berserker in play in case I need that damage boost. No sense in attaching to that Berserker, I don't think. I guess I could. Assuming he is going to go down, even though he's 120 HP, and Zapdos may not be able to hit that very many more times. I'm going to dig with Zacian V. He's getting the research pretty freely. I wish I could. I guess that's the difference that Zacian makes in these things is I've been begging all game for a professor's research and cannot get one. Top the Berserker though, so I don't have to use that ability to get him. Still no way to get this Berserker out of the way, so not much else I can do. I'll hold on to that energy and just see what happens. I don't want to attach it in the wrong place and then have him use his boss's orders and catch it and kill wherever I've got too much energy. Yet another research. I am waiting for my first. I play forward just as well as he does, but cannot get him in hand. Couldn't get him in hand on the first step game either. There goes one Berserker to even the game back up. I guess with this one already having damage, I know I can take a knockout. Hey, there's our research. Going to attach and play that research before it vanishes on me. It's been so hard to come by. Don't want to put Viridian Forest down, as I don't want to give him access to energy. I don't think he really needs any more. Doesn't look like anyway. Go ahead and Saucer to Duraludon, so that'll leave me 2 attackers on my bench that are 1 energy away from knocking out another Zapdos. So I'm in a pretty good spot here. Basically I have 3 guys capable of knocking out Zapdos right now. Probably definitely going to lose the active Zamazenta, but either way I have 2 prizes to go. Unless something drastic happens, I think I can just stay ahead on prizes, it looks like. A few too many times he missed knockouts where he probably could have got ahead of me and stayed ahead of me. Again, he's been messing around with this Zapdos list, sort of working it out as well. It's not the same that it was back in the Guzma days, unfortunately. It'll draw us back even at 2. Another thing I was thinking, just sitting here looking at his side of the field, is I do not have reset stamp in this list, and you can see it has a massive hand. So another thing to consider about maybe putting 1 of in at least. Just when you get to this point of the game, be nice to shuffle him down to a 2-card hand. I'm going to play that hop and hold on to my stadium and a few of my resources here as well, so I don't really need to dig anymore. So I've got two attackers set. Go ahead and get this Metal Saucer. Do the other Duraludon so I can accelerate a little energy back if I need to. I don't think it's going to happen. I mentioned before in the video, you can see Zamazenta reaching up to 170 right now. And he could hit 190 with 1 more Berserker in play. So not too bad. I don't think too many people think of him as a piece to make a deck around. But at 170, single prize card Pokemon is pretty solid. Another boss's orders. Gonna hit that Zamazenta with no energy on it, but you can see I've already got switch. So let's let Duraludon take a bite here. Play the catcher since we have it. Get the Absol just because I don't like Absol. I like him as a character, just not as a card. Nothing personal, Absol. Just don't really need to play the rest of these cards. I'll go ahead and play a few though, just because Logan and I always like to just sort of max out our hands. Switch, and I'll go and switch back into the Zamazenta for another 170. And finish him off there. So as you can see, this slightly upgraded version of our theme deck is much better with those minimal changes. In both games we were stuck top drawing for several turns. That is a problem that is pretty easily fixed by Zacian V and its Intrepid Sword ability. We will mix a few of those into our second step list and bring you the final video in the series where you can see the difference a little V makes. We hope you enjoyed these games, and if you are interested in getting into the TCG for the first time or back into it if you've been away for any time, we hope that this series of videos will show you an easy and inexpensive way to do so. Until next time, this has been Hee Haw for Dark Moon Cards and Games. Later.